Hey everybody! Mango just blew a .32!
Well guys, it happened again. People are once again hating on a big influencer, and this time it's Ludwig's turn. Before we dive into the incident itself, you have to understand the stage that was set. Ludwig isn't just some guy playing video games in his bedroom. He's the co-founder of Off-Brand, a creative agency that stages huge, ambitious streamer events, from chess boxing to game shows. Ludwig's entire brand is built on being the ringmaster of these big live spectacles. One of his recurring formats is Beeriokart, a concept that combines the wholesome fun of Mario Kart with the not-so-wholesome pastime of binge drinking. The rules are simple: you drink beer while you race. An event held in mid-2025 features a roster of other creators and was, in theory, supposed to be a good time. It was like a party planned with a very predictable risk. Among the invited guests was Joseph Marcus, better known as Mango, a legend in the Super Smash Bros. Melee scene and a longtime friend of Ludwig's. Mango has a well-known reputation for his chaotic energy and for making drinking a core part of his brand. Inviting him to a binge drinking event was, in hindsight, like adding a lit match to a room full of fireworks. According to Ludwig, Mango had been to these events before without any major disaster, which is why he was invited back. This friendship, and Mango's very public persona, would become central to the debate after it all went up in flames. What was supposed to be a fun, rowdy stream quickly veered off a cliff. As the Beeriokart tournament wore on, Mango became incredibly drunk on camera. His behavior went from fun drunk uncle to HR nightmare at record speed. At one point, a breathalyzer test on stream allegedly showed he had a blood alcohol content of 0.32.
Hey everybody! Mango just blew a .32!
To be clear, that is dangerous. That's not good. That's not good. That's dangerous.
Let's up those numbers!
A level that is considered life-threatening and can lead to loss of consciousness, alcohol poisoning, and even death. The atmosphere of the stream shifted entirely. It was like a fun road trip that suddenly turned into a hostage situation. His actions went from being simply loud to deeply inappropriate harassment. Multiple clips from the livestream immediately blew up online, showcasing Mango's disturbing behavior, particularly towards several female streamers. He was seen making gestures and engaging in wildly inappropriate physical contact that made others visibly uncomfortable. In one viral clip, streamer Maya Higa looked extremely uncomfortable, trying to pull away as Mango made gestures near her head. Other creators, like Extra Emily, also found themselves on the receiving end of his actions, with Ludwig's own girlfriend, Cutie Cinderella, appearing visibly upset and trying to de-escalate the situation throughout the night. Ludwig later admitted this was just Mango being a menace for the content, but outright harassment of people he barely knew. He also claimed he saw at least one too touchy interaction and stepped in. But for the thousands watching live, it didn't look like nearly enough was being done, as Mango's behavior continued unchecked. A line had been crossed, live on Ludwig's show, under his watch as the host. The consequences were swift and absolutely brutal, especially for Mango. His career underwent a controlled demolition, collapsing in a matter of days. It started with his own public apology. He went on social media calling himself a drunk dumbass, stating there was no excuse for his actions, that he hurt people and that he'd crossed a line. He promised to apologize privately and to re-evaluate his relationship with alcohol. But the Notes app apology couldn't stop the professional bleeding. The dominoes fell, and they fell hard. First, Ludwig announced that Mango was banned from all future Mogul Moose and Off-Brand events.
But also, and I already told Mango this, I'm no longer inviting Mango to Mogul Moose event. Cause like, you know, it's a privilege to go to an event, man. Like the whole point of an event is like, it's a fun thing to do, have a good ass time. And if somebody appearing jeopardizes somebody else having a good time, that just can't be a thing.
Then, the wider esports community chimed in, with reports that he was facing bans from major tournaments. But the biggest blow came when Cloud9, the esports org that had sponsored Mango for over a decade, announced they were cutting ties. In a public statement, Cloud9 reportedly called his behavior entirely unacceptable. And finally, Twitch reportedly suspended Mango's channel. This was the huge surprise, given he'd been suspended before for passing out drunk on stream. In just a few days, Mango had lost his sponsor, his tournament invites, and his platform. A public post of this captured it all, saying something like, C9 dropping me, probably getting banned from tourneys, no one to blame but myself, but man, never thought I could hit this low. I had it all and fucking tossed it in the trash can. The sheer severity of the consequences turned the spotlight right back onto the guy who threw the party. Alright, before we get into Ludwig's meticulously crafted response and the storm of criticism that followed, if you're finding this breakdown useful, please do me a favor and hit that like button and subscribe for more deep dives into creator chaos. Anyway, the controversy exploded online like a wildfire. The entire incident became a sort of Rorschach test for the community. Everyone was looking at the same set of facts, but seeing two completely different pictures. Plenty of viewers jumped to Ludwig's defense, arguing that Mango is a grown adult who is responsible for his own actions. They pointed out that dozens of other creators were there without incident, so it was unfair to blame the host for one person's meltdown. However, a huge and very loud segment of the community sided with the critics. Suddenly, the word enabler was stuck to Ludwig's name like glue, with many accusing him of being a PR machine who was more concerned with his image than with actual accountability. Commentary channels picked apart his every word, comparing his statements to things he'd said about creator responsibility in the past. The takeaway for a large part of the audience was clear. Ludwig's response felt calculated, like a performance of accountability rather than a genuine acceptance of his role. Mango's wife went on a rampage on Twitter, stating, "But since I'm not bound by shit as a civilian, I fucking watched you on stream asking for Mango to take shots. Of course your little teeny popper viewer bitch ass wants to pretend that never happened. People were vomiting at your event and you never once decided to pull the show. This wasn't the only tweet, and it gets ugly." And some big streamers also decided to react to the event.
Of course. But I'm only gonna touch on this briefly because I really don't want to talk about it. If I'm being honest with you, I kind of want to move past it. I'm gonna say something and then we're gonna move on, okay? I don't personally enjoy when people are speaking on my behalf for certain things that happen. Obviously, everybody's seen a lot of the Mango drama and everything like that. He has reached out to me and apologized. Ludwig reached out to me. I know that the other people were reached out to. My opinion is how I feel about it. I cannot speak for the other girls. I'm only speaking for myself. I want to make that very clear. My understanding is that he's very drunk. Doesn't justify actions like that when you're drunk. You shouldn't act like that when you're drunk. But I've seen a lot of what he said. It seems to me like he's trying to do better and get better. And that's awesome. That's always a good thing. It sucks that somebody has to hit a rock bottom in order to get to that place. But also, from my perspective, and just to give what my perspective is, it's really difficult when there are a lot of people in a lot of different areas to keep eyes on everybody and see what they're doing.
Yeah, I think that is absolute bullshit. I think Ludwig is a fucking liar. I think he's a snake, and I think he would throw anybody under the bus to avoid a hate threat of his own. Mango obviously fucked up. Obviously he has his own demons, and to be honest, I hope to God he gets the help that he needs.
So I'll turn the final question over to you. Do you think Ludwig did enough to take accountability for this event, or do the critics have a point that he enabled a toxic situation and then tried to spin this way out of it? Let me know what you think down in the comments.
Let's up those numbers!
That's not good.